My argument was that they weren't European.
Okay, can I propose a new argument? White people from America should not open their damn mouth about history or genetics. Unless they're qualified to, because even then, they're still stupid. Because I swear, the education system in the US, and also just like teaching how to like verify information, understanding standards of like scientific, like understanding of anything, like, no, there's none, zero. Like, gosh, I'm Coptic Egyptian. I'm Egyptian. I'm indigenous to Egypt. So are all the rest of the Egyptians in Egypt. We are very diverse in the way that we look. And you know what's so funny? Because white people bring up the argument of like looking at Egypt through, like the ancestral Egypt through the lineage of the pharaohs is the dumbest shit ever, because Egypt's been colonized since the beginning of fucking time. The only people that have continued to be indigenous that are not the ruling class. Like, are you dumb? Like, you think Cleopatra was Egyptian? She's not Egyptian. Like, it's just, the ruling class was rarely Egyptian. Like, at the beginning, yes, but later on it wasn't. And Egypt's history spans thousands of years. So I don't understand the stupidity when they try to fucking, and if the whole point is like they want the accomplishments and innovations done by ancient Egyptians and even current Egyptians to be whitewashed. We are not white, we are not Arab, we are not Greek, we are not Roman, we are not Turks. What are we? We are fucking African. Stop with this bullshit. This is eugenics bullshit. You're just racist. That's racism. I don't care. We don't care what race we are. We've never given two fucks about race in Egypt. Even though, yes, because we've been colonized, white beauty standards are very high, and there is constant racism even towards ourselves. But that's common with places that have been colonized by people that look like that moron. So, like, it's just so frustrating because like literally they view like Africa as primitive and never made innovation, never created anything, never really did anything. Although all the innovation in the world has been done by white people or Europeans. No, it has not. For a long fucking time, most innovations in this world were done by African people. The Greeks, the Romans, they learned philosophy, they learned history, they learned math, they learned science in Egypt during the ancient world. And do you know why? Because Egypt was the epicenter of education and innovation in the ancient world, where people studied there, where all these different nations kind of combined resources and knowledge to exist there. Egypt was an incredible place for just discovery before all the shit with the modern colonization of like the Arab rule and the English and the Turks and the French. There was a certain point before Christianity in Egypt where there was so much freedom in thought and freedom in innovation and scientific curiosity. That was before Christianity. That means before even Islam in Egypt. Once you add organized religion to rule an entire nation that wasn't originally that religion, things get fucked up. And that's kind of what I want to do with the channel that I'm working on called Coptic Amazigh Studies. Because North Africans and Eastern Africans are of the Amazigh lineage. But we never talk about it. I didn't even fucking know this. That's why I'm delving into criticizing both the Christians and the Muslims in Egypt. Because they fucked us up. They fucked us up brutally, way harder than anybody else. We lost that sense of curiosity and freedom of thought and freedom of innovation. Even though we are very intelligent people, we are literally, like, honestly, Egyptians are fucking brilliant. some of the most intelligent people I've ever met, and just naturally, like it's. And that's common with most people everywhere that are not white. It's like people don't expect us to be so intelligent and so innovative and curious. But we are. We just never get the fucking opportunity because either fucking war is happening in our countries or some fucking shit is happening because someone put their hands where they're not supposed to. Like, that's what happens. If one more fucking white person degrades the innovations and the beauty of my country's history, like literally, I'm just gonna, every time I keep losing my mind because it's just racism and eugenics and even anti-Semitism to an extent. I don't know. I don't know what else to say because I've said this so many fucking times. Like, we are African whether you fucking like it or not. Whether in the Hallow groups when literally nomadic people existed, literally all of us started in Africa, so I don't fucking know what you're talking about, okay? Because it doesn't make fucking sense. I don't know what accent I'm doing. Like, when I talk fast, it slips into other things, but like, it's just so infuriating. Behaving like people didn't, like all of humanity didn't originate in Africa. Like, even if it's not the center of Africa, like I personally believe it started in South Africa with the tribes there because they are, from what I've seen, have the oldest records ever. Like one of the oldest records ever. But archaeology is very racist, especially when it comes to discoveries done by African people themselves on their own stuff. It's a whole thing. You should look into it. But like, there's a lot of bureaucracy with archaeology too, but it's mainly because it really started by the British fucking with my country, Egypt, our archaeology. None of the people that have been helping archaeologists, which are really country people who have no education, nothing, were the ones who helped even fucking translate the hieroglyphs because they knew Coptic. I'm Coptic. Like, it's a way to represent the basically whatever was left of the ancient Egyptian language. It was Coptic. And it's a mix between Greek and Egyptian sounds turned into letters so that the Greeks could understand us during that ancient time period. All that shit. But a lot of things have been lost, and it's one of my fucking life goals is to fucking help Africans wake up. And it's literally like, we don't know who we are anymore. Especially North Africans, we don't know who we are anymore. We don't claim ourselves, our history, our ancestry, truly. We've succumbed to whoever was there that took over. Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand, especially when North Africans call themselves Arabs. It pisses me off. It's like calling yourself white when you're not English. Or French. English more likely. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like you're deciding to delete your history, your ancestral history, by claiming someone else's ancestry. Because as a survival tactic. I know it's a survival tactic. I know you guys call yourselves white as a survival tactic. You are not white. You are not Arab. You are African. You may have liked the Arab influences in your culture, but it does not mean you're fucking Arab. And if you go to Saudi Arabia and you're like, you come up there and you look like me and you're like, I'm Arab, I'm from Egypt, they'll be like, you are not Arab, you're not from the Arabian Peninsula. Pan-Arabism is not good because most of the Arabs in Africa are not Arab. They're not Arab. You're not Arab. I do not care. You're not Arab. You can like that you grew up in a culture where it was forced on you, that Arabism, but yeah, no, you're not. Thank you.